With the first pick,
The Indiana Fever selects
Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
Well, Caitlin Clark hugging her family, her brothers, Blake and Colin, her father Brent, her mother Ann, and heading to the podium. She is officially a member of
The Indiana Fever believed they were acquiring a rookie. They ended up with a fully functional company empire. Even her own club was taken aback by Caitlin Clark's shocking revelation of contract terms to the WNBA. Clark's team surreptitiously negotiated benefits that would make LeBron James gasp as the league continues to complain about poverty. Private jets with round-the-clock rehabilitation experts, and a marketing provision that grants her complete authority over her brand. This is a hostile takeover, not only a contract. And the elderly guard of the WNBA is going crazy.
I've never seen anyone shoot like this. And look at what she's done, just numbers-wise, men's and women's basketball.
According to Fever organization insiders, they never anticipated Clark's team would require this degree of power, according to a whispered insider. We believed we were signing a basketball player. As it happens, we signed a movement.
Now to you, why not call her what she is, which is the face of the WNBA?
But yeah, what we don't want to hear, Marky, and good morning, good Monday morning to you. What we don't want to hear is ridiculous statements like that, okay? Caitlin Clark is the reason why the WNBA and the NCAA women's basketball tournament got its highest ratings of all time, 48%.
Clark's contract includes a portion of Fever apparel sales, so every time her jersey sells out, she receives a cut, while fierce rivals like Angel Reese barely make it on league minimums. Furthermore, her jersey is selling better than the entire league combined. Let's face it, the WNBA sought to confine her. Regretfully, she broke the box. If Caitlin's power moves are your thing, hit the like button. Sign up today. This narrative is only becoming more intense. The leak that made all the difference. The receipts don't lie, despite the WNBA's best efforts to conceal the facts. According to leaked documents, Clark's contract contains an unprecedented provision. She has the right to cancel the agreement if the Fever doesn't supply top-notch training personnel. That's correct. She is the CEO of her own profession in addition to being a player. And Clark's staff responded with hard facts when the league started to argue about fairness. For times as many people watch her games as any other WNBA game. She's bringing an entire freaking circus, so why should she settle for peanuts?
Come to the meetings. I gotta get in the meetings because I'm hearing like, yeah, they don't give us, if y'all don't give us what we want, like, we sit out.
That's a possibility, for real.
Yeah.
It was kind of a possibility on the last one, but like now I feel like just with the leverage that you know we have right now, and it's just a time that women's.
Meanwhile, behind closed doors, the so-called veterans are having tantrums. One of them, named All-Star, allegedly yelled at league executives, but here's the thing. Life isn't fair. She didn't get lucky, since she created it while other players were preoccupied with feigning rivalries to gain influence. Clark was changing how women's sports were conducted. Additionally, the Fever's locker rooms are now undergoing renovations. The team's worth has increased dramatically, and their sponsors are boosting their investments. All because one woman disregarded the established norms.
Yeah, I think, first of all, I think Paige already announced that, like 6 months ago maybe or so. So quite some time ago, I think it was already announced that Paige was signing a 3-year deal with them, had equity in the league. Obviously, I'm really proud of what Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart have thought through with that league. Obviously, I've talked to them. I went.
The true cause of the WNBA's panic, let's not mince words. The popularity of Caitlin Clark isn't causing the WNBA to fear. They've lost control and are in a panic. The league held onto this ideal of equality for many years. Equal minutes equal pay. Focused like a badge of honor, however. As soon as Clark entered the room, she broke that illusion. Her games attract millions of people. Whole teams sell out of her jerseys, and her brand is more well-known than half the league combined. The old guard is incensed as the WNBA's socialist experiment appears to be a fraud.
Maddie Kenny with the New York Post with Unrivaled, the announcement that Paige Bueckers is going to get a 3-year deal with them. In the first year that she's going to make more than what she's going to make in her entire rookie salary. I guess I'm just curious, what was your reaction to hearing that? And how does knowing the salaries that players are getting paid in a startup league that lasts only 10 weeks?
Earning your stripes and locker room culture are unrelated to this. It all comes down to power. The league has always operated like a closed club run by insiders, former stars, and legacy schools who believe they own the story. However, Caitlin Clark isn't following their guidelines. The system broke the moment she signed that rookie contract because, at the time, the league Ice Cubs Big Three intervened and dropped a $5 million bomb 3 months after she was offering her pennies, acting as like it was a privilege, just to play ball without the politics.
It's official. Big Three has made a $5 million offer to the sensation that is Caitlin Clark. And then you responded to the reporting and said, I was going to keep this private as she remains in the hunt for a championship. You did not want to be a distraction, which, by the way, respect.
Yeah, respect.
Thank you, even though it's a $5 million offer, didn't want to be an interference or a distraction, but you have made a historic offer. And why wouldn't...
This is where things start to get serious. That Big Three offer was a message, not just bait. If the W doesn't change their ways, other leagues are keeping an eye on Clark and are prepared to sign him. The WNBA faces more than just the possibility of losing a player. They could lose everything they have in the future. As the spokesperson for a generation, Clark will leave her fans, her money, and her influence if they are unable to make her happy. The anxiety isn't about salaries. Rather, it's about a dynasty on the verge of dissolution. It is not her jump shot, and it is a secret weapon. Everyone is aware that Caitlin Clark is capable of shooting out lights, but they are unaware of her true weapon, leverage with cold blood. Clark has been making power moves behind the scenes that the WNBA elite never anticipated as the league is busy trying to box her in. Clark's team has been playing chess while the rest of the league is still finding things out. So don't assume that the excitement is simply about three-point shooting. Clark's team reportedly secured ownership stake in the Indiana Fever in a move straight out of the billionaire playbook. Let that sink in. Not just a shoe deal, not just the ownership of the contract, you are aware of how uncommon that is. Almost unknown in women's sports. When her agent brought it to the table, team executives allegedly appeared astonished. But Clark didn't flinch because she understands her value and is done allowing the league to set the bar. She is rewriting the rules of the game rather than merely playing it.
Commissioner's Cup final, what a dish. Dallas, the finish plus on a beautiful delivery from...
Furthermore, it doesn't end there. Clark has previously obtained trademarks for her name, image, and catchphrases. She is the owner of the rights to every sweatshirt you made. Her media crew is profiting from each highlight reel that becomes viral. In the meanwhile, the WNBA, which typically receives a portion of players' earnings, leaving merchant media in the dark. This athlete isn't a superstar. The league has no authority over this brand, company, or movement. As her detractors focus on rookie hazing, Caitlin Clark is creating an empire that may surpass the WNBA itself.
She made 17 baskets for you, so it's pretty cool. And obviously this franchise has had a lot of really great players, so to be a part of that and to come here was, a perfect place for me. So I'm just very lucky and fortunate.
How did you guys make that fun?
The cascading consequence that no one anticipated, that $28 million Nike mega contract with private jet benefits and creative autonomy, wasn't simply a victory for Caitlin Clark. She also ignited a bomb under the WNBA's foundation. A line appeared in the sand. The other players, the so-called veterans, are now frantically searching the area, thinking, wait, she gets all that for what, hitting logo being white and having threes, and that's the underlying message that nobody wants to express aloud, but everyone is aware of because leverage is more important than talent. Agents are now expecting the same treatment for their customers after Clark brought the spotlight. But here's the thing. Her firepower is unmatched by any of them. Clark's transaction started a domino effect that is tearing through front desks and locker rooms. Teams are in a frenzy. Executives are perspiring. Off the record, one insider even acknowledged, "We're about to get held hostage by our own players." Additionally, they are correct because Clark didn't merely raise the standard, she threw it as if it were a grenade. Contracts are being called out by players. Midway through the season, endorsements are being renegotiated. There is now anarchy under the authority of a rookie who completely changed the course of a 28-year-old league.
In Caitlyn's debut, since she has made her debut, there's been a large and loud clamor or push, yes, that is Caitlyn versus the W. Okay. And that.
However, this is what's truly shaking the old guard. There is no slowing down of this transformation. Clark demonstrated to all young ballers that getting paid doesn't require waiting your time or kissing the WNBA ring. You take over the headlines and make the league must either evolve or perish. This is a reckoning, not just a movement. Additionally, it appears that the players that are still adhering to antiquated hierarchies are going extinct. The dirty little secret of the WNBA, let's be honest, and stop acting so humble. The WNBA wants more than just Caitlin Clark. Like oxygen, they rely on her. This isn't hyperbole. The figures are honest. She outperformed the entire playoff series in her debut game. She is selling far more jerseys than any other player. She increased the Fever's value on their own. The rest of the league, however, is merely hoping to catch her wave. The WNBA is a struggling side act with a Twitter account without Clark, but when she is involved, the discourse is worth billions of dollars.
I'm just going to, reflect back and appreciate everything we've been able to accomplish together.
What will you remember from this game?
I think, more than the wins and, losses, it's just all the moments in between, This is a confident group of girls, and if you have a young daughter or young son, this is the type of team you want.
And they gave in to her demands for precisely that reason. Because she owns the room, sponsors don't ask for Aho Wilson. Therefore, Clark got it despite the rookie never even dreaming of it due to private jet scheduling input and marketing. They are indifferent to Ter's heritage. They want Clark, story, her picture, her fan base now. She is the entire ecology, and the league is aware of this behind closed doors. They are acting like everything is normal but treading carefully because of this. In the meantime, the league's faces are going crazy. Since Clark entered the room, A.A. Wilson has been unable to get a single new contract. Angel Ree is frantically attempting to create a rivalry, but Clark won't engage in her small-minded antics. Additionally, Terzi continues to disparage her in interviews, obviously shaken by how quickly Clark took away 2 decades of her own fame. However, the kicker, their bitterness is irrelevant. The star of Clark is untouchable. She could go tomorrow to participate in European call games for ESPN or release a Netflix documentary series and still earn more than they all put together.
Say you're 2 possessions away from being 4-0 in these games. Do you look at it from both sides? Like, here are the positives of this, and then here are the things we really want to work on?
Yeah, that's probably what's frustrating about it, too. It's like we are 2 possessions or, from being 4-0, but there was so many little areas in this game that we could have improved.
The league believed that they were acquiring a player. They acquired a power broker in sneakers, and she has 5 million reasons and 5 million admirers to walk away from them if they don't agree with her. This is more than just a change in generations. The takeover is hostile. Additionally, Caitlin Clark has stopped requesting permission because the Clouds have the potential to destroy the wing.
In the backcourt, Copper Allen and Brittany Griner playing in just her 8th game.
WNBA boardrooms are currently experiencing a silent fear, and it all stems from a single paragraph tucked away in Caitlin Clark's rookie contract, specifically page 27. According to sources, There is a provision that allows Clark to leave the league after just 2 years if certain income targets aren't met. Let that sink in. If the suits behind the scenes continue to fumble the bag, the woman driving ticket sales, jersey orders, and media attention on her own might leave. This isn't your typical opt-out. The fuse is already lighted, and the danger is loaded.
Leave it all out there. Caitlin, you had at Iowa, both your junior and your senior year, you had 5 or 6 of these, right? Yeah. Where you literally, when you showed up in the arena, you did not know if it was your last game or not. Can you take any of that from junior year and senior year into a situation like this?
Yeah, I think it's like you approach it in a way of like, you don't want this to be the end. Like, you want to keep coming back here. You want to keep coming to practice. You want to keep having shoot around.
The kicker is this. Insiders say those income projections are already in grave danger.
Why?
Because broadcast partners and WNBA executives similar to by providing venues to individuals like Dawn Staley and Renee Montgomery, who have made it their hobby to minimize and ridicule Clark's accomplishments, CBS continues to alienate Clark's enormous fan base. Rather than focusing on the most influential athlete the game has ever seen, they're promoting divisive and demoralizing storylines. Games that aren't Clark already have low viewership. Other stars' merchandise is gathering dust, and sponsors are discreetly reviewing their agreements. This is not a blunder in marketing. It collapses in slow motion. Additionally, the detonator is Caitlin Clark's contract.
A huge passion for the game of basketball. I have a huge passion for women's leadership, and I think I'm really excited to be entering into the WNBA commissioner role as a real platform for all of these players, the owners, the whole basketball ecosystem, quite frankly, to drive it, to the next level. Clearly, the biggest opportunities for the league are to enhance the fan.
Don't make any mistakes. This provision is more than just a legal workaround. It's a message. When Clark and her group realized what was happening, they included a nuclear option. If we continue to play dirty, she can leave the country, jump to a new media company, or even assist in starting a rival women's league with NBA support if things don't improve by 2026. That is the WNBA's worst-case scenario. The day their sole financially viable star opts out of becoming their punching bag, and if that day arrives, the league will lose its final opportunity to be truly relevant in addition to losing a player.
Caitlin, a bit of history this afternoon, but I know you are a team-first person, so I want to ask you about how you all played against this Liberty team that beat you all 3 times this season. A lot of growth for your group. What was the difference maker today?
Yeah, to be honest,
Caitlin Clark has the potential to blow up the entire system if the WNBA doesn't change its ways quickly. Furthermore, who could blame her? Don't miss a moment of the consequences. Since we're only getting started and the drama will only become more intense from here, please hit the subscribe button and leave a comment with your thoughts about this video.